how do you think about the role of of spreading ideas, publishing for the advancement of objectivism and its goals? Let me open that up to whoever wants to jump in on that.
The role of ideas in advancing a movement, a movement is ideological. What we're talking about is movements of ideas, so the whole thing is advancing ideas. But the role of publishing in different forms, I think there are sort of two things that are going on in an ideological movement. An ideological movement is a set of ideas that are abstract philosophical ideas and therefore applicable in any time and place, but also being used by people as a guide to their life, as a guide to understanding their present society, and as a tool, therefore, for thinking about how to change and alter that society. And so what an ideological movement needs is sort of two types of thing, right? Two types of content that are coming out. A timeless type of content, a content that's about, this is the fundamental ideas, this is how epistemology works, this is how values and knowledge work. And then a journalistic, engaged with the concretes of the moment type of content. This is what's wrong with this law, this is how to think about these two political candidates. Whatever the thing is in the moment, that as you're going through life and seeing the concrete, you get guidance about how to integrate them in light of these ideas. But it's not just the two extremes, a newspaper article and a philosophy book. There are all kinds of intermediate stops along there that are more and less durable, long-term in scale. So take a movement that's not as abstract a philosophical movement as Aristotelianism or Marxism or something. Take abolitionism that's concerned with a particular project of ending slavery. Right? There are books, and books that are classics of it, like My Bondage and My Freedom, or Narrative of My Time as a Slave, the Frederick Douglass books. Right? And there was also newspapers that are commenting on the events of the day, and both of them were essential. And they're essential in a way that interlocks, because the topical changing moment-to-moment context is relying on and referring people to a more enduring content that's not as engaged with the affairs of the moment, but is abstracting one level from them, that can be read year after year, decade after decade. And if we look at what's happening now in objectivism, we have both types of things, and we need both types of things. So we have Yaron Brook on the air every day, interpreting the events of the day in a philosophical framework. We have New Ideal Live. We have various things like this that are topical, local content. And then we have Atlas Shrugged, The Virtue of Selfishness, Capitalism, the Unknown Ideal, as the kind of background, wide-ranging content that this is drawing our attention to. If you think about Ayn Rand herself, this is also what she was doing, right? The Objectivist, the Ayn Rand newsletter about the journalistic concretes of the day, relating them to Atlas Shrugged. But we also need things that are building on what Rand wrote, that are building on her timeless things, and building on the timely things she wrote in the 50s, 60s, 70s, that are available today to do with the essential issues as they're existing in the world today, but today meaning not on the scale of months or weeks, but on the scale of years and decades. And I think that's what books are for. That's the role they play.